I told you to leave me alone. So give me some space, Bug-Eye. Your breath smells like bantha poodoo.
Kuyami juski chika nai. Tong patoga smaktilia. Dabis jubong kuki pangpa. Tong itwamaji human ak ikatune.
Who you calling little girl, Chuba Face?
Ubabatu konchi. Jiskadasoki kupa bona na chachu.
Just a sec, boys. Zalbar, a little help here? I need you to rip the legs off some insects. Quit complaining. You can finish eating later. Besides, you need the exercise, so get over here.
Kiyokaku! Himba muli ratwanaji. Kuyami juski chika nai. Ubabaska dwana chichopa muska. Jiskadasoki kupa bona na chachu.
You got a problem with me? Then you got a problem with Big Z. So unless you want to take on my furry friend, I suggest you greenies hop on out of here.
Yobasa! Himba muli ratwanaji. Kaba volpa murji gumaya.
Hey, relax, Big Z. No need to be rude. Sorry about that. But Wookiees ain't much for conversation, you know? Say, I don't recognize you, and I know pretty much everyone in the lower city. You must be new down here. I guess that makes me and Big Z your official welcoming committee. It's not that strange. Most aliens can speak basic, they just prefer to use their own language. But I grew up here on Terra, so I just sort of got used to speaking the native tongue.
You showed a lot of guts dealing with those Vulkars, kid. You got a name?
My name's Mission Veo, and this big Wookiee is my best friend Zalbar. I'd offer to give you a tour, but the streets down here aren't safe. But if there's anything else you need... We just kind of fell in together. It ain't easy on your own here in the lower city. Everyone's always looking to push you around.
So we noticed. Still, you seem like an odd pair.
When I met up with Zalbar, it seemed like a pretty good match. I knew we could look out for each other. With my street smarts and his muscle, we make a great team. Well, you came to the right person. If you want info on Lower Terrace, I'm the one to talk to. Davik, the Lower City gangs. I even got the scoop on that bounty hunter, Calo Nord. Davik's part of the Intergalactic Crime Syndicate, but I guess everyone knows that. But I hear he's got a new ship for his smuggling operations, the Ebon Hawk. I don't know much about space travel, but I hear that ship's fast enough to break the Sith blockade. Of course, this is all just secondhand rumor.
Where would he keep it, do you know?
If Davik does have a ship, he's got it locked up in his estate. Nobody gets in there, except the people working for Davik and the Exchange. There's only two gangs worth worrying about here in the lower city. The Black Vulkars and the Hidden Becks. Sometimes Zalbar and I hang out at the Beck base. The Becks are led by Gadden Thek. He's a good guy. Lost his sight in a swoop bike accident a few years ago, but even blind, he's a great leader. Not like that traitor Brezhik. Before he took over the Vulkars, he was a Hidden Beck. Gadden considered that ungrateful space slug his adopted son. When Gadden went blind, everyone figured he'd step down and appoint Brezhik in his place. But Gadden figured Brezhik wasn't ready yet. He wanted him to wait a few years. But Brezhik was too impatient. He left to join the Vulkars, and ever since, he's been waging a war to wipe Gadden and his Becks from the face of Terrace. This gang war in the lower city is totally the Vulkars' fault. They're the ones killing everything that moves out on the streets. It's like they've gone insane. Calo Nord's one of the most famous bounty hunters in the galaxy. He's killed more people than the Iridian Plague. I've seen him kill people just for trying to talk to him. He hangs around Zach's bounty office, but I don't think he's looking for work there. All the postings there are small time, way beneath a bounty hunter of his caliber. I figure Calo's been hired by Davik to do a special job for the Exchange. I'd wager 1,000 credits that as soon as the quarantine ends, he'll be getting off this rock. You going? Yeah, this dive is pretty boring. No action around here. Come on, Big Z, let's go. Can't you think about something besides your stomach for 5 minutes? Come on. We'll go see if there's anything good to eat at the Beck base.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. My attention was kind of focused on the Twi'lek dancers. Oh, look at them waggle those head tails. I don't normally go for these alien girls, but I've had some bad experiences with my own species lately. Maybe it's time for a change. Know what I mean? You're here about that? I guess Zax must have mentioned me to you at the bounty office. Fair enough. I don't care who takes her out. Just so long as the job gets done. I can't let her get away with what she did. That wench tried to cut me with her vibro blade. Because she's crazy. She started screaming that I was making advances, and the next thing I know, she's coming at me with a knife.
Yeah, right. Sounds to me like she was defending herself.
I admit I was drunk. Maybe I got a little fresh. But it was no big deal. She didn't have to cut me. What? I can't do that. Think how it would look. I work for Davik. I've got a certain reputation to uphold. I can't let her get away with this. There has to be payback. Although, I do feel a little guilty about all this. Dia's a good-looking gal. It'd be a shame to kill her. Tell you what, I'll take 200 credits in exchange for lifting the bounty. If I let her get away with it, I'll look even worse. She's got to pay, either with her life or 200 credits to buy my forgiveness. Don't worry, I'll stick to my end of the bargain. I'll go tell Zax right now that the bounty is off the table.
Uchua penki, tang ituamaji, human act in ikatune, chi ita kanki, chana kilikon, chiwa aita kanki. Ki mulira kun king, tong hituama act inkotune. Ciao baso, chino molira ni bubo. Patoga yakfuli kokala Gigi. Tingkuin ko ka, tong hitwana G sabkat agi inko tune, chuna mulira. Smilia! Tingkuin ko ka, patoga yakfuli ko kala Gigi. Ki mulira kun king, tong hitwama agi inko tune. Topa na ota bokasa, pampa ki mulira kun king. Changwapa chinyo sha. Kimba no konik docha. Uba baska dwana chichopa muska. Kimba ni chalora kun. Kiyuma batmalyaw no ish. Chachiska. Topa na oto bokasa. Kakincha na wabakaon. Pagwa siyang kontimachit o.
Chikun ida hodonga, ikin kuno bamulera chikun. Slimo podona rundiodunga ku hunkabe. Chi gratulo da pograshi onion kompa chintono muchuba. Loda dita kun, ida patisa batua kacha tutonga. Pagrasha kon tijaka Chubakaha, chopta kunjus miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Dolbabank, wale oganda naru chuchut. Chi gratu loda pograshi onion kompa chintono muchuba. Loda dita kun. Ita patisa batua kacha tutonga. Kava dumpa ku palia mukapata. Bonana chaku, ikun kono bule marachi. Chanchak pulara, umrao chis gaduchi. On chuban yiska yanki. Titoke gratung kun chicha kun. Shagji locha wana wama? Kama volpa multi kumuna. Chinchun shishine chene kun. No bale mulera kun. Wana mon kuzbes chingapula mulang.
Kavadumpa kapalia monapata, bonanakachu, yin kin kun no ba mule rachi, ti umpa do punta krita, ak ti kondo ona chaba chisa wanki, ti toki grantu kon chichan kun green kanchan tu pro, bok wala no bok cha. Witi membo rangtong, mule ra on shaturing ni patoga wanga chonzi tse. Ika krotu haku jije? Mana tota hakuji krala bola jik chok shontang shun kipa unapanka muli rikon kili tinku ukapa topa no aska chinisko kin kun shi kakichin awana wamata nishi la chorga kin kun pala mona reji Chingpala niska mule tun rata tigin podranko. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi.
Ta kunjus tak miki grabulmogo. Kachichu ita modunga. Dolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Moge runda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching balamule.
Genchopa chawi tikchok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bona na kachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon.
Tag, bis tu ponko koki bakbaka. Ching pala chiska mule, tunarana nu prata, donko sicha tuma wamamantus.
Shagji kina lorcha watamwana. Kin kun shishikin. Ni kin kun ban mulara jikun. Witimen borang tong. Mulira on shaturing ni patoga.
Tam boragantong mulira siyang turong ni na potata tuangachun tize igruto hanga jijiwa watajuma wana hu wama hulhu na
Witimembo rangtong. Mulira on shaturing ni patoga wanga chonzi tse. Ika krotu haku jije?
Chikun ida hodonga ikin kuno pamulera chikun slimo podona rundi hodonga ku
Shagji kina lorcha watambwana. Kin kun shishikin. Ni kin kun ban mulara jik.
Mucha hodonga ya fulke chachiska do punta casa baka bana okto ta kunjus tak miki grabulmogo Kachichu ita modunga. Dolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana jingne.
Gigi hakuji lorcha kin kuna. Bamuleri jikun. Kaji chutula podoto punto casa. Witimembo rangtong. Mulira on shaturing ni patoga wanga chonzi tse.
What do you want now? This whole thing with Dia is over, so we don't have anything to discuss. I don't want to waste my time answering a bunch of questions. I'm here to have a few drinks, watch the dancing girls, and enjoy myself. I've got to be mentally ready. Davik's got an assignment for me off-planet as soon as the quarantine ends. I'm one of his top couriers. Davik's always sending me off-planet to deliver and bring back packages. He knows he can trust me to follow my orders to the letter. Plus, I used to be an intergalactic customs agent, so I know all the tricks they use to catch smugglers. That gives me the edge I need on my courier runs. It's not like it's some big secret. It's kind of hard for Davik to keep a low profile when he belongs to a big intergalactic crime syndicate like the Exchange. Davik's ship is the fastest one in the entire quadrant, but even the Yavin Hawk can't get off Taurus until the quarantine is lifted. The Sith fleet has the planet surrounded. Any ship leaving orbit without proper access codes will be disintegrated by the Sith auto-targeting laser cannons. And those codes are locked safely away in the military base. Davik's pretty upset about it. His smuggling operation isn't making any money, but even with his underworld connections, he can't get his hands on those codes. Fine by me. That means I get to go back to enjoying the dancing girls.
Kipuna, Onana Kacho, Kimba Muliratuana, Taupa Botenya, Kachichona Ifaudunga, Taukum Justak Mikegrabil Moga, Rundi Haudunga, Ton Kimba Nankunke, Wana Kumbis, Chimpayamuri. Paris Manaris, Donjonea Hakonon, Mulera Yonunaze, Teaching Wibidwan.
I can't see anything wrong with getting rid of people like that, as long as we don't end up on the list of their victims.
Tunirana Nuprata Tunkyo, Searcha Toma, Kumana.
Okay, I don't know about Davik's special contracts. Justice is one thing, but doing a crime lord's dirty work is something else.
Kachichona Ifaudunga, Taukum Justak Mikegra. Tombatora Smaktili. Chioka Kolmolera. Quien conjo pesha. Nova Moleraji. Cherion Torang. Chachiskato puta. Kasabubaka. Ho 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 ho. Chibeduana ni bobo. Chachiskato puta. Kachichona Ifaudunga, Taukum Justak Mikegrabil Moga. Chibeduana ni bobo, Tung Shanun Yang.
Hey, you can't just walk in here. This is the hidden back base. How do I know you're not a Vulcar spy sent to kill Gadon Thek? A lot of people want to go inside and speak to Gadon. He's a hero of the common folk. But the days of the Hidden Beck's open-door policy are gone. Between the Sith conquest and the Vulcar gang war, Gadon has more enemies than he used to. We're being careful about who we let in now. Well, we do need all the help we can get. And you don't look like you're with the Vulcars or the Sith. Besides, it's not like you can do anything to harm Gadon in the heart of his own base, not with Zedra watching his back. Go in and speak to Gadon if you want. Just remember to be on your best behavior. The Hidden Becks are watching you.
Hold it right there. Who are you, and what is your business with Gadden?
Calm down, Zerdra. Nobody's going to try anything here in the middle of our own base. It would be a suicide mission.
You're too trusting, Gadden. Brezhik and his Vulkars want you dead. Anyone we don't know is a potential threat, and it's my job to make sure you're safe.
Do you want us to start attacking strangers on sight, Zerdra? Like the Vulkars do? I will never let it come to that. Now step aside and let them pass.
As you wish. You can speak to Gadden if you want, but I've got my eye on you. You try anything and you'll be vaporized before you can say Vulkar spy.
You'll have to forgive Zerdra. Ever since Brezhik and the Vulkars began this war against us, she's been a little overzealous in her security duties. The problems with the Sith haven't helped things. Zerdra seems to forget that I know how to look after myself. Now, how can I help you? A foreign army invades Terrace, declares martial law, and locks down all travel to and from the planet? You damn well bet I have a problem with that. If the Sith ever moved in down here, all the swoop gangs would unite against them. We'd use hit-and-run guerrilla tactics to pick them off. Their casualties would be enormous.
Don't fool yourself. The Sith would never commit to that kind of operation. They'd probably do something much more grand and deadly.
But so far, the Sith have stayed out of the lower city, and our strength is wasted on this stupid gang war. I tried to explain this to Brezhik, but he and his Vulkars won't listen. The escape pods? You know, I heard the Sith have been asking around the upper city about them as well. But you don't look like you're with the Sith.
They might be spies, Gadden. They might be working for the Sith.
Calm down, Zerdra. If the Sith thought we knew anything useful, they'd have a battalion of troops kicking down our door. No, I think this off-worlder has his own agenda. I suppose I could tell you what I know. It's not like it could do any harm to me or my gang. But it might cause problems for the Vulkars, and that's okay in my book. The Vulkars stripped those pods clean within hours after they landed. It's too bad we didn't get there first, considering what my spies reported the Vulkars found. A female Republic officer named Bastila survived the crash. We Beks don't believe in intergalactic slavery, but the Vulkars aren't so picky. They took her prisoner. Normally, the Vulkars would take a captured slave and sell them for a nice profit to Davik, or an off-world slaver. But a Republic officer is no ordinary catch.
They still think Bastila is just a Republic officer. That could work to our advantage. Maybe she'll even figure out a way to escape from the Vulkar base on her own.
She's too valuable to leave with the Vulkar scum at the base. Brezhik's probably got your Republic friend hidden away somewhere safe until the big swoop race. You'll never find her. I'm afraid your friend has become a pawn in Brezhik's game to take over the lower city. He's offered her up as the Vulkar's share of the prize in the annual swoop gang race. By putting up such a valuable prize, Brezhik hopes to win the loyalty of some of the smaller gangs. Their numbers will allow him to finally destroy me and my followers.
So how do you propose we go about rescuing Bastila then? Well, we can't fight all the gangs.
The only hope you have of rescuing Bastila is to somehow win the big season opener of the swoop race. I might be able to help you with this, if you'd be willing to help us. We both have something to gain here, and much to lose. The swoop race is for the lower city gangs only. I could sponsor you as a rider for the Hidden Beks this year. If you win the race, you'll win your friend's freedom. But first, you have to do something for me. My mechanics have developed an accelerator for a swoop engine. A bike with the accelerator installed can beat any other swoop out there. But the Vulkars stole the prototype from us. They plan to use it to guarantee a victory in this year's swoop race. I need you to break into their base and steal it back. Getting into the Vulkar base won't be easy. The front doors are locked tight. But I know someone who might be able to get you in the back way. Mission Veo.
Mission? Gadden, you can't be serious. She's just a kid. How is she supposed to help them with this?
Mission's explored every step of every back alley in the lower city. Plus, she knows the undercity sewers better than anyone. If anyone can get inside the Vulkar base, it's her. She and her Wookiee friend Zalbar are always looking to stir up a little excitement. They like to go exploring in the Undercity, despite the dangers. Your best bet is to look for her in the Undercity, but you'll need some way past the Sith guard post at the elevator. A simple disguise might have worked on the Upper City guard, But the security down here is much tougher. You'll need the proper papers to get past him. Luckily, my gang ambushed one of the Sith patrols headed down to the Undercity. They never made it, and their security papers fell into my hands. Since we're working together now, I suppose I could give them to you in exchange for your uniforms. With the security papers, you won't need a disguise anyway. I like to be prepared. Eventually, the Sith are going to try to drive us out of the Undercity. Sith disguises might give my people the edge we need in a crucial battle. Good choice. Thanks for the uniforms. You won't need them with these security papers anyway. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Your time would probably be better spent going after the prototype swoop engine the Vulkars stole from us, but I'll answer your questions if I can.
Very tactful. Are you itching for a fight or something?
How dare you? I should kill you where you stand.
Calm down, Zerdra. I'm not ashamed of what I've become. As you can see, I lost my eyes in a swoop racing crash. I rely on these artificial replacements to see now. But my blindness was not the worst consequence of my accident. My affliction was what eventually led to this war between my Becks and the Vulkars. When I lost my sight in the swoop bike accident, everyone assumed I would step down as leader of the hidden Becks and let Brezhik, my most trusted follower, take over. But with my ocular implants, I can still see well enough to lead this gang, and I knew Brezhik wasn't ready to take over yet. Unfortunately, Brezhik didn't agree with me. In a rage, he left to join our arch-rivals, the Black Vulkars. A lot of the younger gang members followed him, and soon he and his followers had taken control of the Vulkar gang. Brezhik is a proud man. My decision was a public humiliation for him. Maybe if I had stepped down, this gang war could have been avoided.
Don't fool yourself, Gadden. Brezhik wants to control the lower city gangs. If you'd stepped down, he'd have led the Becks against the Vulkars. He wanted this war, one way or another.
I know you're right, Zerdra. Brezhik won't rest until I am dead and the Becks are no more. But it's hard to accept the truth of his betrayal. Your time would probably be better spent... Not while the Sith quarantine is in place. Even the fastest smuggler ships can't break the blockade of the fleet surrounding the planet without the proper launch codes. Any ship leaving the Terrace atmosphere without the proper codes would be instantly disintegrated by blaster cannons, fired by the Sith fleet's automated targeting systems. Feel free to come back anytime. We're not like those Vulkar savages. Strangers are welcome in the Beck base.